What is up, Budget Billers? My name is Trail, better known as Budget Bill, and this is your fourth stimulus check update and stimulus package update for Thursday, May the 13th. Good morning, everyone, and what a week we have had so far. I am getting super excited because yesterday was the first time that GOP leaders Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy met with President Biden at the White House. It has already been more than 100 days, and both sides have yet to see each other since Biden became the president. But yesterday's meeting was one for the books, and it shows some upward momentum of us getting more stimulus checks, as well as passing an infrastructure package that would help rebuild America, as well as help struggling families. So today we are going to be discussing the details of their meeting yesterday, as well as we now have multiple states are now cutting the $300 per week unemployment boost. As the economy continues to improve week over week, states don't feel it is necessary to continue the additional income for the unemployed, especially since there is a shortage of workers available for jobs right now. But before we get started, if this is your first time to the channel, hey, welcome and glad to have you. On this channel, we talk about finance, real estate, credit cards, Bitcoin, crypto, and stimulus update news. So if you're interested in any of those, go ahead and hit the subscribe button for me. That way you can join our community. Also, if you end up liking the content in this video or even laughing at one of my jokes, then go ahead and hit the like button for me. Other than that, guys, hey, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Okay guys, yesterday President Biden met with congressional leaders in the Oval Office to discuss the process moving forward with Biden's infrastructure bill. In this meeting, you had the President, VP Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, and Kevin McCarthy. So you can imagine how intense this meeting was going to be. And real quick, go ahead and check out their body language in this little short clip.
House and Senate leadership here. You can see Senator McConnell and Leader McCarthy and Speaker Pelosi and Majority Leader Schumer. And what we're going to talk about today is, when I ran, I said I wasn't going to be a Democratic president. I was going to be a president for all Americans. And what the bottom line here is, we're going to see whether we can reach some consensus on a compromise.
So yes, everybody is totally excited to be having this discussion, right? The purpose of this meeting was to determine whether or not they could potentially agree on a bipartisan deal, and exactly what both sides can agree on. That would be included in the infrastructure package. And then right off the top, Republican leaders told the president that they would be drawing a hard line on taxes to pay for the infrastructure bill, which is an immediate disconnect as well as a substantial roadblock ahead. They said that they are not interested in reopening the 2017 tax bill. They immediately cut off any discussion around tax increases for their meeting. McConnell said that they need to figure out exactly what the definition of infrastructure is and whether the provisions in this bill meet that criteria. But regarding all other provisions in this bill that were discussed were pretty positive, or at least the Republicans were open to it. Nancy Pelosi said that the meeting with the leaders went pretty well and that there were a few hiccups regarding the electric cars. But other than that, it made her more optimistic about a deal and that it could happen with a few more steps moving forward. So Nancy Pelosi is pretty happy about the progress made yesterday in their meeting. And then President Biden also spoke highly of the meeting as well. This is what he had to say.
I came away encouraged.
So even the president was encouraged by this meeting, even though one of the hardest challenges is going to be discussing how to pay for everything, especially after Mitch McConnell stated that the bill should be nothing more than $800 billion, which makes it super hard to bridge the gap to $4.1 trillion. But Mitch McConnell ended up speaking with reporters after the meeting, which his responses seemed a little bit positive. He said,
"I think both sides would like to get an outcome," McConnell said during an interview with Fox News. adding that they discussed an issue upon which there's a great chance we can get a bipartisan outcome.
So, the fourth stimulus package on the table seems to be going rather well, and if the GOP is not willing to negotiate in favor of majority of the provisions in this infrastructure bill, they might be sorry in the end, as the Biden administration does have a few tricks up their sleeve in case the GOP is unwilling to budget on raising taxes or having the wealthy pay their fair share. So, all in all, Wednesday's meeting was pretty productive with the congressional leaders. Now, the next phase will be negotiating specific provisions in the infrastructure bill, as well as making compromises in order to get this bill passed. Which leads us to stimulus checks. Will Biden ultimately squeeze in a fourth stimulus check? The Democrats are confident that providing a fourth stimulus check is definitely needed in the hands of the Americans, as well as the other benefits within the bill that support our low-income earners. There is ample enough evidence that the previous 3 stimulus checks helped Americans in so many ways. It prevented millions of people falling below the poverty line. It prevented millions of Americans from going without food. It caused the hunger rates in this country to plummet after the second round of stimulus. And it prevented millions from being evicted from their homes. So, no need to ask the question whether or not a fourth stimulus check is needed. We know for a fact that there are still Americans out there struggling right now that could use another boost of relief aid to help them push through the end of the pandemic, such as our low-income earners, our Social Security recipients, SSI, SSDI, VA or veterans, or railroad beneficiaries. Even those on unemployment benefits, which is about to end for a majority of states. The fourth stimulus check is crucial to being included in the infrastructure package. Now, these congressional leaders didn't mention it specifically. However, the Americans' Families Plan is for the people, and including another round of stimulus aid will most likely be included in that bill. But don't expect that to be mentioned anytime soon, guys. As I stated before, Americans are still receiving their third stimulus check right now, as well as tax filers have filed to receive their missing stimulus checks as well. So it will probably be another month before we even hear the White House acknowledge a fourth stimulus check. But no worries, guys, no worries, because other congressional leaders are working in the background on writing legislation and supporting another one-time payment of $2,000, as well as reoccurring monthly payments of $1,000 until the pandemic is over, which, if these virus cases continue to drop like they have been and people continue to get vaccinated, the pandemic will be declared as over sometime this year. So everybody, we just have to be patient in the short term and let them continue to set the stage for more stimulus payments in the near future. Stick with me, guys. I promise you. We all want this and we can't give up on it. We are not super close, but with the great responses from this meeting, we are getting much closer than we have been. Now, don't y'all get too excited, but keep your fingers crossed in the meantime. In other news, the unemployment benefits are seeing their last days. Those $300 per week unemployment boost benefits are being removed from several states. The discussion right now is there are multiple businesses having trouble with hiring people to work. There is basically a shortage of workers right now for jobs. And we have actually seen places like McDonald's have now hiring signs up with sign-up bonuses attached to it. So, some party leaders are blaming it on the issue of people on unemployment are making more money than they would be with their regular job. And I will say this is probably true. If a person right now is making $300 per week or $1,200 per month to do nothing on unemployment, why would they want to go back to work their jobs and just make $1,000 per month? Now, obviously, this is just an example, but it does beg the question. Now, what we don't know is how many people on unemployment benefits are actually trying to get a job, but just unsuccessful. Or perhaps we have those that are just fearful of the virus and returning back to an office or working with others as putting themselves at risk. Those are the questions that we are unable to answer right now. So, now that local state governments are taking it upon themselves to end the unemployment benefits of $300 per week, as the economy and states appear to be bouncing back strong, as virus cases and deaths continue to drop to the lowest numbers in months, and as you guys continue to hit the like button for me on these videos. Most feel that the $300 unemployment boost is hurting the economy more than it is helping them at this time. So far, we have 12 states that have publicly announced that they are cutting the $300 weekly unemployment boost. And to no surprise, these are mostly GOP-led states. So far, we have Alabama, Arkansas, Idaho, Iowa, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, North Dakota, South Carolina, Tennessee, Utah, and Wyoming. Now, we probably will see more states in the coming days or weeks canceling theirs as well. This will probably be a ripple effect that carries over to all states. This will actually cause some people to start looking for jobs once again, and hopefully our job numbers will improve on the next reading this month. But tell me, guys, what are your thoughts about states cutting unemployment benefits right now? Do you think that they should, or do you think that they should not? Or do you think that they should just keep it for a few months? Things are returning back to some form of normalcy in most states, and local state governments are about to receive a huge payday from the American Rescue Plan. You know that the American Rescue Plan had about $350 billion allocated to local state governments, and they are about to receive that money. Let me know your thoughts down below on what you think about them cutting the $300 unemployment boost. And last but not least, this is sort of some sad news. Elon Musk tweeted yesterday afternoon that Tesla will no longer be accepting Bitcoin as a form of payment. This caused the Bitcoin price to plunge. Elon Musk said on Twitter that there are concerns around the use of fossil fuels for mining Bitcoin, which is not good for our environment. He said cryptocurrency is a good idea for our future, but he believes that it comes at a great cost to the environment. So Tesla will not be selling any of its Bitcoin right now and intends to go back to using it once again later in the future, once mining transitions to a more sustainable energy. A few hours after his tweet, about $365 billion was wiped off the cryptocurrency market, which is crazy. I literally saw my account just dwindle by the thousands of dollars. I'm going to be making a separate video about this news, so if you're interested, be sure to check that video out later if you're interested. And with that being said, this has been another fourth stimulus check update for today, as well as Bitcoin update. If you enjoyed any of this information or found it to be useful, be sure to hit the like button for me. It definitely helps out a lot, and it also tells YouTube to share this video with others. And if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me so that you can be a part of this community, and hit the notification bell to be notified of each new video. Again, as always, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.